Hi, and welcome to day 46 of 100 Days of Katie. It's the last day of my little mini series, so tomorrow you will have someone new to uh, to talk about their gratitude. Um, I apologize. I feel like as these videos have gone on, I've looked worse and worse and sounded worse and worse. I'm struggling with bad allergies this time of year, and yeah, so that explains the way I look and the way I sound. So I apologize. Um, but today I wanted to talk about travel. And I'm extremely grateful for travel. And I know that Katie's had the opportunity to do some traveling through a fresh chapter. She traveled, I think it was to India, I believe, and got to experience some wonderful things on that trip. And I know I saw some amazing pictures from Iceland and some of the other places she's been. It's just been amazing. And I too have a big love of travel. Um, Ever since I was young, I've loved to travel. And I think that probably came to me from my parents, who are both world travelers themselves. My mom's been a citizen in 3 different countries. My dad was with the Foreign Service, and my sister and I were both born outside of Canada. So we've been very, very lucky to be born into a family that values travel and instilled that into us growing up. I've been so lucky. Through my parents, I've gotten to visit Europe. I've also traveled and worked in England for a short period of time. I got to see Ireland and Scotland and a little bit of Spain. I visited Panama, where my roommates from university were from, a few times, and loved to visit there. I've been through parts of the United States and was lucky enough to see quite a bit of the world in my life so far. And I even have a bucket list of places I intend to visit someday, and I've been working really hard with my husband to try and plan some trips for us and for our family, because we want to instill the same love of travel in our children as well. And yeah, so we've been very lucky, and even last summer we took our kids cross country by car. We drove all the way, actually made it to BC, and we camped in Banff and camped in Jasper, which was quite a feat. But it was such an incredible experience. I'd never done that in my life. While I traveled a lot growing up, hadn't traveled a lot within my own country. So what an amazing experience. It's hard to believe when you drive through all that scenery that it's all part of the same country. We're so lucky to have what we have here in Canada, and I definitely don't take that for granted for a second. We've also taken our son to the East Coast a few years before that, and that was another amazing experience, another place I'd never been to. There's so many places still that I can't wait to see one day, and the bucket list, I feel, keeps growing and growing, and we're working and trying to check things off the list. So someday. But yeah, I know that not everyone gets the opportunity to travel, so I don't take it for granted, and I find that it's taught me so much in life. Traveling can add to your education. You can see historic places. You can learn about things you can't really learn in a textbook when you see these things in person and talk to the people who live there. It's so totally different, and it stays with you for a lot longer. It also makes you value what you have in your own country. We are so fortunate in Canada for everything that we have, and the quality of life we can achieve. And not all countries, unfortunately, are in the same situation. And when you visit other places, it makes you realize just how lucky you are. And it's changed me in a lot of ways, and it's made me look at how we can help those that aren't as fortunate as us. It's a valuable lesson, and it's one that I hope to share with my kids growing up, and I want them to be big travelers as well and experience everything that this world has to offer. There's just so much. So I thought this was fitting, given that my husband and I are going on a trip to celebrate his birthday, his big 40th milestone, and in doing so, our attempt was to check one of those places off our bucket list, but unfortunately that place was affected by the weather conditions last summer, and they're still trying to recover. So that portion of our trip's been canceled, but I'm thinking of those people, and as much as I would have loved to go there, I just wish them the best, and I hope that the recovery efforts are getting them back to the quality of life they used to enjoy before they were hit so hard with the weather. So I hope to visit there one day. I will, and but in the meantime, I'm thinking about those people and hoping that the recovery efforts are almost finished. So yeah, so all that to say, very grateful for travel, and very grateful for this opportunity. Despite my terrible experience and my stuffy nose, it's not how I would have imagined filming a YouTube video. I never would have imagined filming a YouTube video until now, and but it's been an amazing experience and extremely worthwhile. And Katie, I hope you've enjoyed the little mini series, and I'm glad that you're going to have someone else with a less congested face to look at tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the videos, and let's keep going until we get to those 100 days. Appreciate everyone's support. And if there's someone too that like to do another video, contact us. We'd be excited to have some people come back as well. All right, take care, and new video tomorrow.